You can do whatever it is you want.
Just like how I say too, no one needs to do piracy. But should you be able to, there are resources online that will educate you on how people do it. Wink,
I know this
wink.
motherfucking pirate.
Shut up.
2-1. Oh, hold on a minute. Cat seems to want my attention now. All right. If you're gonna be up here, you're gonna have to sit there. Good. All right. Anyways, guys, welcome to another night of Hot or Trash podcast. We're back with me and the co-host Victor, and now our guest that will be on the side will be my cat Josuke. So, yay! Hear that? Now I just gotta actually make art for him at some point.
Hell yeah.
So we'll settle that part at some point. But yes, yeah. Tonight, however, we're gonna. Would you say us talking about like the current situation with flock cameras is the same thing we do about like our own personal security?
What?
Sorry, I feel like I need to like break that into you a little bit better. Are you aware of what flock cameras are?
No, I know, but the way you asked that question was just.
Oh, sorry. Because I was wondering with the whole situation right now with flock cameras, does that tie into what we talked previously about like whenever we look at like how to personally protect yourself online?
No, only because this is involuntary and they just attach cameras in public places. It's not something you can just avoid.
Yeah, fair enough then. So I'll just say that we could actually not really make an attachment to that too, but we'll just talk about like our opinions about with flock cameras. And straight up, yeah, I find it really gross.
Well, gross is an understatement, really.
It is too.
What they're doing really should be illegal.
But it's like for the people that don't know yet what flock cameras are, they are in this case like public cameras that you would associate, let's say, like speed cameras or traffic cams and whatnot too. And you would think otherwise, like, oh, okay, those things should be attached to like some local government too for law enforcement purposes. No, a lot of them are actually attached to a private company that is funneling a lot of the data to their own centers that they are also giving out toolings for other people to use their service, from what I can understand and grasp.
They do get hired. They do get hired out by law enforcement, the city basically, to install them. So it's not like they're just there out of nowhere.
Yeah. So if anything, it's like it still feeds into like, yeah, it is also like traffic cams too, but I think right now the relevance of these things are becoming even gross. Like we already have problems already whenever we see traffic cameras be put up on certain street and a lot of street lights in general. Like we have issues with that regardless. But I can also understand too of like in a lot of cases for law enforcement too, they need some ways to make sure that they catch criminals. Let's be very honest about that. But the way the hell this has gone about it too, with a lot of stories that are coming out with flock cameras, there are people even within law enforcement that are 100% abusing this shit too, right?
They're just looking through the cameras to like. I've heard a case where a cop was like stalking someone through those flock cameras.
I think it was like a Georgia police from what I remember. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Georgia cops keep getting arrested and fired for illegally using flock cameras to stalk people, but surely those 17 bad apples aren't representative of the entire batch, based on this one article here. So, albeit too, maybe it's only like a Georgia-ish like thing too. The problem is the fact that you still have, this is a problem that is going to be fundamentally going to be a nationwide problem.
It will become a nationwide problem, yeah. That's the thing though. I mean, like, sure, you can say the small bunch of bad apples is not representative of everyone, but the fact is that there are people that will abuse it is the thing.
Yeah, and there
are people that have abused it is the other thing.
Yeah, because take for example too, like how much do we realistically trust in the fact that again too that like yes, I get it that they're hired by local law enforcement or local governments to help install these to like help with like catching like car thefts too, which I am 100% doubtful that's what they're using it for.
I mean, that's the reason they give, and that's what the cameras were made for. They're, in the end, let's just be very clear on what they are. They're just a license plate reader camera. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. But sometimes it's not accurate, so it also leads to it's wrongful arrest sometimes.
Yeah, like for example too, I think I remember too that like I think it was like somebody's license plate that got misread from like a 0 to a D, and another person just got arrested from that shit too, because the main thing that they say that the Flock is using is that they're using like a artificial intelligence to like help with identify stuff. But then we still, us talking about it too, like AI is getting good, but I still find a lot of like things to be wary of if we are starting to try to apply this in real life right now. Just because the best way how I still see it, I still think of it as like still in research and development more than it's like a viable product for people to use. And so you have all these cases too. And at that point I started arguing like, why do we need flock cameras to give us the same outcome of arresting the wrong person than we did with the shittier traffic cams in the first place?
I mean, granted, what type of traffic cams are you talking about?
I thought there was like a bunch of like speed or like the red light cameras. That's what I was thinking of.
I thought they're just red light cameras. Those don't do jack shit.
Yeah. So fair enough. But my point still stands too. It's the fact that necessarily it's still camera. But I think this is the first time I feel like it's been outwardly admitted to that these are like constantly running cameras too. And the problem that I think a lot of people are saying too, that like they have actually found out too that it's not just scanning license plate, it's also scanning people's faces and profiling them, which that itself too, holy fucking shit, it is reminding me of the TV show Person of Interest, where that was like a point of contention too, where you had an AI that had access to like New York's street security cameras, and it was like labeling, targeting all the people here too, not for any other purposes whatsoever, but the fact that it's capable of like putting all that, and then it spits out the data to something that they can look up, and they know everything about you just from the AI itself observing the camera and then finding the facial recognition to match that. Now, like I said, science fiction and all too, that's still terrifying notion to think about. Yeah, because before what we mentioned, like our own personal security, online security stuff too, this is something that like it's like preventative measures that we can easily take for ourselves so that we don't get profiled that often. As the problem is in being in public, you're kind of given with the expectation that won't happen to you. Is that the best way to word that?
No, what we do is we stop ourselves from being profiled online. When we walk outside our front doors, it becomes a whole different story. It's not easy. It's not easy to not be profiled.
Otherwise, you start actually looking like a fucking shady as fuck criminal or fugitive.
Not that. It's just because everything you do, everywhere you go, profiles you. That's why there's memberships. That's why there's fucking going out to a self-checkout. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm just saying, anything you do nowadays, you go buy anything, you're going to be profiled one way or another.
Right. So it's like, it is what it is. And that's the case then, right? But we start seeing right now, there's like a current trend, a TikTok trend, mind you. There are people that are straight up vandalizing these Flock cameras. Now, I'm not saying in behalf of the How to Trash podcast here that we condone nor promote this type of criminal activity, but I would like to argue some things against them, such as the fact that the issue that it has every time you take down these cameras too is that Flock doesn't lose anything. What ends up happening is that the city pays Flock money to go over there and replace and repair it, and that government money is effectively other people's tax money. So I see this as like, as much as I see that these guys, good for them, wanting to protect their own personal freedoms, and the fact that they are criticizing, and in this case wanting to point into question Flock's entire like business model seems very sketchy. Well, actually not business model, but the technology surrounding these Flock cameras should be questioned. I get that. I think what they're fighting for that is the case too. Do I believe in vandalism? 100% no. But
in reality, I think what it is that police should just not take advantage of the system is number one thing. Number two thing, we shouldn't be constantly surveilled.
Yeah,
we should constantly be surveilled. I mean, like, I don't want a world where there's just going to be a camera in every corner. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand that it helps with tracking down criminals and whatever. I get it,
but that's something that should be like, you know, a
there
subpoena
needs to be
order.
there needs to be a balance.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, for example, like if you go to like any convenience store that has like security camera, you as a store owner are not like legally binded to like give that footage up to police force. They had to subpoena you in order to get it, or they have to get like a warrant so that they could say, hey, we need to investigate your camera, here's the warrant, and be like, okay, sure. A lot of times people wouldn't mind doing that, is the thing too. But the thing is that like the concept being is that like a lot of like the cameras or all like the video footages that surveil people are stored locally within like an area that people can track and monitor like publicly. When it comes to Flock camera, it's all going into like Flock's like many data centers, which in this case are AI powered data centers. That's all what it is too. It goes feeding into that too. A lot of people already are having like trust issues with tech companies and data centers in general. So Flock cameras on top of that is like, yeah, it's not the most popular thing right now. And a lot of
cameras being placed in public in general is not popular with anyone.
Yeah, especially right now, like the whole push being again that the Flock camera, as much as like it's trying to track criminals, it just feels like a very dangerous tipping point where it becomes government surveillance, and it already kind of feels like it is.
And I think realistically they're just threading the needle, trying to figure out like what is the tipping point really.
Yeah, like what is it that they can get away with, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the things, again, I am not condoning the vandalization too, but there are things right now too that are pushback, such as there's a guy that released a open source project on GitHub named as I believe it's called dflock, which all it does is that if you run this code with, let's say, like a Flipper 0, for example, which is also another fun, interesting gadgeted tool that other interesting individuals should have. You run this together with Flipper 0, you can start tracking Flock cameras. Now, I'm not saying otherwise that you should track them at all too, but if you always want to be aware of it, just like how people put up like their own ways of like finding out if police are nearby too, I'm just saying, right? It is up to you. You are in control of your own actions. If you want to do that, that is more power to you. We are just not condoning it. We are not promoting.
You are big men.
Yes.
You can do whatever it is you want.
Just like how I say too, no one needs to do piracy, but should you be able to, there are resources online that will educate you on how people do it. Wink, wink.
Fucking pirate.
Shut up. Anyways, like, how else do I really say too? Like, it's really gross the way how this is being handled. And I think the only, I'd say I don't want to talk about politics about it, but I think this is like loose surface level that I could at least say for this channel on behalf of it. If we don't want Flock cameras in this too, I feel like all we have to do right now is like, we just had to email like our local representative to be like, hey, we don't want these fucking things in our area.
That don't matter. I mean, like there are some things that even if we tell our policymakers about, there's some things that they are set on doing, so they will do it.
Yeah.
This is also a problem. The people who represent us don't really represent us.
And it's like, why are they here? And at that point, we should just straight up, we should have the ability to just vote them out, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, too, like, this is going to become an issue, too. Like, as much as I like to say that, or I hear other people say to, like, just talk to your local policymakers, too. Because if you do, a lot of times people don't actually do it enough, too, where it's like, oh, we actually want to have your vote. How can we do to help you? I don't realistically believe that's what they're going to be perceived as. I feel like there is a disconnect from like what they're representing and what people are doing based on like a lot of videos I've seen based on school boards even. Holy shit. So the best way to do it, just fucking vote for the ones that say, hey, would you, and have the question in mind of, if I vote for you, would you promise that you will not send money to fucking Flock to build up more of these cameras? And they don't give you a straight answer, say, all right, I'm not voting for you then, and just leave it at that. Because until that actually happens, and even if they don't do it too, all right, cool, vote them out of office. doesn't matter. Vote him or her, whichever is willing to do the action that actually people can agree with. And I think that there's like an increased movement of people wanting to push that too, where yeah, we don't like these fucking flock cameras, and we'll see what happens in the next few months too. Albeit the vandalisms and whatnot too, despite like how it is still bad and it's still a criminal offense, it is kind of helping the people kind of be aware of like the issue and problem that these flock cameras are posing.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it's like something that people say is like, oh, we need to stop like these vandalists and whatnot. It's like, well, how about we at least address the problem of why are they vandalizing, like everybody else is saying too, like why are people committing crimes in general? All right, let's just look at it. Why do we need these flock cameras? Okay, what are these flock cameras doing? Next thing you know, oh fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
You literally just go through all like the levels of reasoning a normal person should be able to do, and you'll find your answers there.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we are now debating in the fact again too that like, yeah, nobody likes public surveillance as much. We get it that certain stores have them because they want to protect themselves from the criminal, but that's the thing that
stores are fine. Stores are private property, so that's
Yeah.
a different story.
yeah, that's something that us as people, we can understand that looking into this. We're not saying in general to ban surveillance cameras. We're just saying don't put surveillance cameras in public or in public spaces, because some
Or
people have even said too that
don't put it in. What's the best way to put it? How about the government just don't put cameras?
that's about
anywhere.
Yeah, fair enough. Unless it is straight up like red light cameras or speed dash cams or speed cams, sure, fucking why not, right?
I mean, I guess.
But in general too, the biggest problem that I think a lot of people are starting to look into this as more is a lot of times I think Tyler Oliveira, another YouTube like news journalist too, that goes around, like he even did a recent video where he followed with a guy that's going around taking down like flock cameras. And I'm not saying here's are the tools, but this is what the guy on the video showed he did, where on the he wore a very thick face mask helmet, because apparently these flock cameras detection are very good, that trying to wear cloth or a shiesty will still get you flagged and detected and label who you are in the system. Whereas if you try to wear like a thick face plate, for example, maybe a ballistics mask and maybe some goggles so that the IR sensors could not actually like, detect you, you should be fine too. Or if you want to go a little bit step further, you could go crazy and throw some, Rust-Oleum reflective coating on the goggles. Just a fun fact that you could do. So he goes that on there, he got some like garden shears that you could get from Home Depot and some football like gloves that are very tacky so that they could climb up the poles. And we just see the guy just climbing up poles and snipping the cameras and also blocking it with like a sticker to, not let it keep recording stuff. I'm not saying otherwise to purchase these. That was what the video that the guy showed here too. If it was in a lot of ways, in my opinion, otherwise too, some people actually just said straight up, let's just fucking use a bandsaw and just cut it right through. Actually, it's gotten really crazy with vandalism too. People are just straight up stealing shit inside of those flock cameras for parts. I'm like, holy shit, what?
Yeah.
Now, like I said too, vandalism probably isn't the best thing too, because all that means too is that it's going to make the local and law enforcement pay money to Flock to come over to replace these stuff too. So it's not like we're doing this so that it hurts them because they had to come out to replace these, when in reality they're already getting sent money from your local institutions. So that's something to really think about too if you want to enact this type of plan in the first place. Hell, why the fuck does the goddamn YouTuber Reckless Ben have more integrity than that? What the hell? Anyways, we'll talk about the whole Lego scandal a little bit later once all of that stuff is actually settled. But the issue that comes from me looking at the video as well, there is a growing movement from what I mentioned earlier, that there are people that are going to be pushing back against it. I think it's somewhere in Florida. There is like a big movement that if he gets elected as a governor of Florida too, he is going to put a stop and effectively ban Flock from doing business within Florida, which that could be a very big thing that could happen with this too. And I do hope this person does win, because funny enough too, this guy that's running for governor in Florida, I believe he was a Hollywood actor, that he is very passionate about in this case personal, like people's privacy. He's very much passionate about that too. And he says he has no actual issues with, let's say, if you put surveillance cameras in like heavily like protected things that need to be protected, like borders and whatnot too. He doesn't mind seeing cameras there. But the way how these, but then the flock cameras that are being deployed this way, we are seeing them being deployed like in just public roads, in parks, and sometimes in front of people's houses.
Yeah. That is
so it's like, this is meant to like stop crime, but in reality, how much of this has actually prevented crime in the first place? And I think from this data report here that I see too, I don't think it stopped a lot of crime in general by like a small margin. I'm looking it up right now too, if you hear typing or if there's like a long drag on silence here. So, okay, so around like 10%, roughly. Consider this in this context too. Is that realistically, that's pretty low?
Yeah, it is. I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, because like, let's be honest here, it's like, okay, 10% of all reported crimes in the United States, which roughly around 700,000 crimes annually. Which, yeah, 700,000 crimes sounds a lot too, but then if you actually put a number of like how much crime has happened on a daily basis here in America, it's fucking loads of it too. Hell, I can even make
you're saying so 700,000 is whatever the camera finds?
Yeah, it's whatever the camera can find too. Which also just means too, damn, does that mean that 90% of the times too, Flock camera does detect these crimes and it does nothing?
Or maybe what they're saying is that there are not enough cameras. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but even then too, 10%, and I feel like what it should showcase is that it should drop it too. But I think there was another report too that even if these flock cameras were set up to like, you know, look at like the most like crime active areas too, you know what people do? They just do crime behind the camera's back.
Or how about they just commit another crime, which is just destroying the cameras? I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like, this doesn't really solve anything effectively. Like, as much as it says that like this to like prevent crime, maybe we're cynical about this. I don't think this will actually do shit. And if anything, this like brings in and invites more people to do that crime.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I don't think it makes sense on this kind of an approach, you know?
Yeah. Like, god damn it. Everything about this too, it's just why all this much issue too. And obviously people do feel gross, and it's something that, again, we don't like it in general too. Surveillance camera should only be something that like we expect to see surveillance camera in like private areas or businesses too, but once it gets to the sketchy area of, you know, in public streets, parks, houses, neighborhoods and whatnot too, then we might have some issues with that as well. And Flock, I don't believe is, I want to question it, the fact too that like, what was it, Peter Thiel is the one that's running this company? Was that?
I think I did hear that. Let me see.
Yeah.
Continue.
But yeah, if I remember correctly too, Peter Thiel, some people were mentioning with it that, god, I think it was him that actually started the company Palantir. I think that was the other thing.
Well, he probably invested in them. He doesn't do anything.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But nonetheless, too, just because Flock camera being invested by Peter Thiel, which, you know, Palantir technology was just something that's like, I don't remember exactly top of my head too, just because a lot of news have come out with it. But Palantir is supposed to be some type of surveillance technology as well, no?
They do. I mean, they do. They have military contracts too.
Okay. So in general, it's like that, and you hear he is invested into Flock cameras. It's like, god damn it, why is Palantir straight up actually fulfilling the name that it did in Lord of the Rings? If that's something you didn't know yet, Victor. Yeah, Palantir is a reference to a Lord of the Rings. Yeah. So for those that don't know,
you also know that they have a tool called Gotham.
Holy fucking shit!
That's their military intelligence tool, whatever.
Peter Thiel, you're not fucking Bruce Wayne. Stop that shit. You're not fucking Bruce Wayne. And also, again, for people that don't know Palantir, the name of it comes from Lord of the Rings, and it's Sauron's orb that lets him see everything. Kind of a bit of on the nose there, ain't it, Peter Thiel? A little bit on the nose there. Mind you, I think with the way how it feels more plausible that flock cameras does feel like it's like a way for government to enact government survey or government-wide surveillance. I think I said it right in the first time. I think my mind was telling me it was wrong. I don't know. But, oh man. All I can say about it too, maybe we should do something about, actually, I don't know, we can. Well, actually we can do it too. It's just a matter of like, we'll just have to do the research and vote whoever needs to like stop this too. Because obviously I don't want these fucking flock cameras to be put onto like Texas Street. Oh, actually, this is something that was crazy recently too that I saw like last week. Apparently, someone from with like a regular internet access can actually access the flock camera's admin page. Like they can, they themselves can look into individual flock cameras themselves.
Nice.
And there was a guy that reported it too, and I think Michael was the one that showed me the video too. And it's actually crazy too that like this was something too that he should not have access to this. And I think that's what it goes down to. Like, it's not just a matter if like bad cops are using it, it's if bad people use it too. And if anything as well, yeah, that itself is like a very big issue. And holy shit, the more I looked at, remember that too, it's actually kind of scary too that like some person with like an internet connection, it's not even a hack, it's just some reason it's like publicly available to like go into, and people can like see all the information there too. And he even said too that like one of the flock cameras pointed at a girl and a mother, and it flagged both of them, and it gave me so much information about them that I didn't know how to feel outside of me closing out the page. And that honestly tells you something about the surveillance technology that we do have, and straight up we should be fighting back against this shit too, as much as like we fight for, you know, not allowing these tech companies to sell our fucking online data to other fucking advertisement companies. God damn it, I hate this shit.
we should rise up.
God damn. Maybe not to anarchist, no, because that's something that would feed into it possibly further. I want to fucking, you know, turn down the fucking shit if possible by addressing the, you know, the person that's cooking it, versus in this case, fuck it, let's just cook the ovens even higher.
We're turning up the temperature.
No, just shoot the chef.
No.
God damn it. No, I you know what, for purposes of this too, no, I am not saying otherwise that we need more Luigi Mangione shooting down CEOs, okay? We don't need any more of that. However, Peter Thiel on a fucking podcast, the question too, that should have been the most easiest softball question out there, had the hardest time to struggle of, do you think humanity is important to protect? And he struggled to answer that question. I'm like, dog, what are you doing? This is the face of a surveillance company, and he is having a struggle to answer that. I'm like, oh man.
He's not struggling, bro. I don't think you understand. He's not struggling.
Oh god, he legit doesn't see humanity first. Yeah. That's a big red flag for a lot of normal people. I mean, needless to say too, a lot of these people too in these offices, they are not at all normal.
Yeah, just like you.
Hey, shut up. You see, I'm not normal, but you don't see me fucking rich.
No, but you're a fucking bitch. Whoa.
Oh, fuck you, bitch. God damn it. Oh my god. But yeah, I kind of want to do this podcast as sort of like a quick run through, just because a lot of the flock camera stuff too, and I wanted to like say that we will advocate for, you know, hey, we don't like these fucking cameras. I think it's big invasion of privacy. I'm not saying that it violates our First Amendment rights, but it also violates our societal trust in the government, that we are mostly protected in public, for lack of a better word here, right? That we have no expectation that we are going to be surveilled to that extent in the public. So think that's just pretty much what it is too. A lot of these companies are just testing the limits that how much can they get away with that society allows them to. And I feel like us as a collective, we need to fight back against this shit. Because otherwise too, it's gonna become a whole ass problem too. If you want to feel very terrified and existential dread of what I'm trying to describe to you, please watch Person of Interest. It is an amazing sci-fi show that features AI, surveillance, action, all of the good stuff too, and a crime thriller too. If everybody likes that as well, anybody likes that as well. But albeit, this is a very short and sweet episode. I appreciate Victor kind of joining in just for this short podcast episode. There wasn't really much to talk about this flock camera stuff too, outside of it's already out there, it's causing issues, it's not doing the job that it needed to do. If we wanted to be effective too, we should hold this company accountable. You know, all
Absolutely.
of that good stuff.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and actually, if that's the case too, take what I said too, that like if it prevented 10% of the crime too, fucking protest that in front of goddamn Flock too. That like, hey, you say that this is supposed to prevent crime in general too, but this is literally false advertisement.
Yeah.
Could we realistically do a class action lawsuit that say that their stuff is
You could, yeah.
false advert?
You could try. No one's stopping you.
Technically, yeah, no one's stopping me, but who's also crazy enough to do that is also a thing. Like, fair enough too. If we get enough petitions, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I should do a petition for the Hot Trash podcast, see what happens, but I'm not gonna do it. Fuck that shit. I got things to do.
Yeah, see, he don't care about you. I don't do it.
Yeah. But I fight for, in this case, people's right to, you know, do it at my speed. The way how the French Revolution started. God damn it. Why did I mention the French Revolution there? Anyways, thank you all for listening to a very short podcast episode here too. Anything as well. There wasn't much that I had prepared for this as well too. I don't think there was much else we could realistically talk about the flock cameras outside of me and you. We ask each other, hey, how do we feel about this? We both fucking hate it. All right, here's our reasoning behind it, and all the reasonings are like just logical, like maybe not logical, but rational, right?
Nah.
All right, fair enough. Fuck it then. This is just how we feel about it. We just don't fucking like it. If we could fucking destroy these cameras and possibly burn down a company, it wouldn't be us. It wouldn't be us.
Yeah, right. It's definitely not us. It's 100% Brian.
Wait, hold on a minute. Wait, you bitch. I hate you. Why the fuck would you fucking frame me for this?
Why not?
No. But if there were to say some other ways to like, hey, because we said this too, someone else has said it otherwise, I will say it outright too that I do not want anybody to do this. I am promoting a message of don't do this too. Please be rational people of just protest normally. Don't burn anything down, nor shoot anybody, because that does no one good. Albeit too, Tyler Oliveira has a video that showcases all that stuff too. If you want to say you want to get some inspiration or references of how you could possibly protest correctly on this, I'll leave it up to everyone's judgment. You have all your own free will to do what you must. We will do what we can. I'll probably just say, fuck it, why not? Let's just see if we do local election voting, see how that fucking turns out. Other than that, thank you all for tuning in tonight, and we will see y'all next time.
Good night.